Hey guys, Mr. Cookie here. In this video, we'll be making pumpkin whoopie pies with a cream cheese buttercream with condensed milk. It's pretty good, pretty great. Your friends will like it, okay? You make it for them at Halloween. They'll be like, oh, what is this? What are those? Sounds so good. Yummy, yummy. Let me taste it. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. They're gonna want to be your best friend.
Walk right in. Ooh, but it's so much harder than it sounds.
Okay, everybody, we're going to be making these pumpkin whoopie pies. So we need to start with half a cup of room temperature unsalted butter. Okay, I've diced it up just to make it a little bit easier when you mix it. Okay. And I'm also going to be adding 1 cup of packed brown sugar. So you make sure that you pack the brown sugar into the cup. And then we're going to cream this a little bit. Make sure it gets nice and mixed. You want to make sure you're using room temperature ingredients. It's going to be a lot easier that way. You're going to get a better product. Okay, right now I'm going to add 1.5 cups of pumpkin puree. Don't use pumpkin pie filling. Even though you might have some, use pumpkin puree, okay? Or else it's going to change your result. Okay, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can use half a vanilla bean if you like, but the vanilla extract's a little cheaper, more economical. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to mix this a bit. Nice. Look at that. Okay, so I mixed it for about 2 minutes now, and that's what it looks like. So I'm going to be adding 1 room temperature egg. Okay, let's make sure it gets nice and incorporated. You're going to have to scrape down the bowl a few times in this recipe to make sure everything's nice and mixed properly. That's part of the baking life. Got to make sure you do everything properly. Baking is a science, somewhat. Okay, a little scrapey. Magic of television. It's been scraped and remixed. Okay, we're going to be adding spices. So this is 2 teaspoons of pumpkin spice, okay? It's really nice. Really nice. Okay, we're going to add a few more spices to this. So half a teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon. If you put a cinnamon stick in there, it's going to mess up the whole recipe. Don't do that, okay? Also going to add half a teaspoon of ground ginger. I really like this. It adds a little nice little je ne sais quoi, you know what I'm saying? Also, a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly microplained nutmeg. I like to use a microplained nutmeg because it's nice and fresh. If you use pre-ground, it's a little more dull in flavor, a little more flat. Also, half a teaspoon of fine salt. You can use kosher salt if you'd like. There's no stigma. You can do whatever you want, okay? Okay, now I'm adding 2¼ cups of all-purpose flour that I sifted with 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda, okay? So I pre-sifted it, and then I'm going to be slowly adding it to the mixture. You don't want to mix this for too long once you start doing this because you don't want to overwork the gluten, or else your product is going to be doughy in texture. You want a nice light cake, moist cake texture. You know what I'm saying? You're going to like this. Okay, so once it gets to that point, I'm going to add 55 grams of diced, crystallized, or candied ginger, whatever you want to call it. And at this point, I'm just trying to make sure it gets incorporated and mixed throughout this properly so that it's going to be nice and soigné. Okay, look at that. Don't overmix it. Look at it. It looks nice and cake-like. It's a thick cake batter. Look at that. Okay, it's through the magic of television. You're going to bake this at 350 for about 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so I rotated it about 6 minutes to see what it looks like. So you need to do about 2 tablespoons per portion. If you have an ice cream scoop with the release, it's going to make life a lot easier. I just used a tablespoon because I didn't have the ice cream scoop. Okay. Okay, so while that's happening, we're going to be making the buttercream. The buttercream is pretty straightforward. So we just use 250 grams of unsalted butter at room temperature. That'll make your life easier. And then we add 125 grams of cream cheese. This is an interesting recipe because at one point it will look split, but you have to continue mixing it for a few minutes and it will come together and it looks pretty good. So I like to scrape down the bowl a few times because you don't want to have chunks of butter or cream cheese in there. Yeah, it's kind of off-putting. So I scraped it down and then we mix it a little bit more. And at this point, we're going to be adding 150 grams of condensed milk. At this point, you could also add a teaspoon or two of vanilla extract, but I like the nice mellow taste of the condensed milk because the pumpkin spice cake is strong enough that you don't really need to add too much. Okay, so this has been mixing for a few minutes, and look at that. It looks pretty good. Look at that texture. It's like perfect buttercream consistency. Look at that. Let's do it. So at this point, I'm just going to be building these for you guys, just a few of them so you can see what's up. So I do a nice hefty portion in the middle of the icing. You can scoop the icing if you'd like, but I like using a piping bag. I like to keep it a little more bougie, you know? That way you have a nice smooth outside. This nice fat patty of the icing in the middle.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. I've been making these recipes for you guys to try yourself. I mean, I've been cooking for a long time now, and I think my little bit of knowledge can help the average person, the regular stay-at-home mom, the regular stay-at-home dad, the teenager that's hungry, the kid who just wants to make stuff, you know? The person who watches the cooking channel and feels like they're going to be a chef one day. You can learn from me. But these are more at-home recipes. If you want to learn more intricate recipes, you guys got to let me know. I mean, I've been trying to keep it simple, but I can go a lot more complicated with more steps, but it's just not really super feasible for the average person at home. So you guys just let me know. And keep watching, keep liking, keep subscribing. Love you guys. You're the best. You're my favorite.